How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is one of the most important books on how to get along with others, grow as a person, and communicate clearly. It has been useful for decades, helping a huge number of people improve their social skills and impact. Millions of copies have been sold around the world. Carnegie's advice is based on the study of how people behave and is mostly about understanding, empathy, and genuine respect. If you want to improve your relationships with other people or do well at work, this book is ideal for you. So let's go over the most important ideas and steps you can take right now to become a master of influence and a friendship generator. Don't miss this, so stay tuned. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. Chapter 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. When you criticize someone, they instinctively go on the defensive and try to defend themselves, not judging other people, but trying to understand them. Taking this method encourages kindness and tolerance. With the story of Two Gun Crowley, a known criminal whose lack of self-awareness and excuses for his crimes show how pointless criticism is, Carnegie shows this principle. Chapter 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Apologies are needed by everyone. Carnegie says that showing gratitude should be sincere. This means truly appreciating people's work and contributions instead of just throwing around empty compliments. One example mentioned is Charles Schwab, who managed people well by pointing out their strengths and accomplishments, which encouraged them to do better. Chapter 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. Discuss what people want and show them how to get it to persuade them. Mastering persuading means knowing and meeting other people's needs. Giving someone something of value can help both of you, as Carnegie's story about Ralph Waldo Emerson and his friends shows. Part 2. 6 Ways to Make People Like You. Chapter 1. Become genuinely interested in other people. People are only interested in themselves. Expressing sincere interest in other people helps build rapport and encourages good relationships. For example, Carnegie talks about Howard Thurston, a magician who was successful because he tried to connect with his audience on a human level. Chapter 2. Smile. Smiling is an easy way to make a good impression. When you smile, you look friendlier, more confident, and easier to converse with. Carnegie talks about a businessman who greatly improved his contacts with customers by simply smiling more. Chapter 3. Remember that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest sound in any language. Utilizing a person's name in conversation demonstrates regard and admiration. Using and remembering names can make people feel important and valued. Carnegie talks about Jim Farley, who made a big network by remembering literally thousands of people's names. Chapter 4. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Good relationship-building skills include listening. Listening to others with sincere interest makes them feel valued and understood. Carnegie uses the example of a dinner party where the host listened carefully to a woman's stories, making the talk shine. Chapter 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. Talking about something that interests someone will keep them interested. Conversations that are related to other people's hobbies are a great way to get their attention and interact with them. Here's an example of this idea from Carnegie's work. Theodore Roosevelt would find out what his guests were interested in before they came to visit. Chapter 6. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Everyone desires to experience value. Sincerely recognizing and affirming someone's worth leads to kindness and good interactions. As an example, Carnegie talks about an employee who felt appreciated when his boss wrote him a note recognizing his hard work. Part 3. How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking. Chapter 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Arguing usually ends with one person winning and the other losing, which is bad for relationships. Focus on seeing things from the other person's point of view and finding things you both agree on instead of fighting. Carnegie uses Benjamin Franklin as an example of someone who intentionally dodged arguments to keep relationships peaceful. Chapter 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." Forcing someone to admit they were wrong can make them feel bad and make them fight back. Display respect for their thoughts, even if you don't agree with them. A farmer who avoids saying "you're wrong" to improve communication with his neighbors is talked about by Carnegie. Chapter 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Others will respect your humility if you admit when you're wrong. Sincere apologies for mistakes quickly earn trust and respect. Carnegie talks about a time in his own life when admitting he was wrong helped settle a disagreement peacefully. Chapter 4. Begin in a friendly way. Having a constructive discussion starts with a positive opening. Starting off with a friendly attitude can help people be more open to what you have to say, according to Carnegie. Chapter 5. Get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. Opening with something the other person agrees with helps the talk move forward. According to Carnegie, getting initial deals can help a conversation go more smoothly. Chapter 6. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Allowing others to share their ideas and thoughts increases participation and makes them feel important. People can build better connections by listening more and talking less, according to Carnegie. Chapter 7. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. People are more committed to ideas they think they helped create. Carnegie tells a story about a business leader who made changes work by offering employees a sense of ownership over the idea. Chapter 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Gaining understanding and working together are easier when you see things from their point of view. Carnegie talks about how knowing each other can be improved by putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Chapter 9. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Express understanding for their thoughts and feelings. According to Carnegie, there was a sales boss who got his team to work harder by understanding the problems they were having. Chapter 10. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Individuals like to think that the reasons they do what they do are good. To inspire and persuade others, you can appeal to their higher motivations. Carnegie gives examples of how appealing to people's good intentions helped resolving problems and inspiring them. Chapter 11. Dramatize your ideas. Sharing your thoughts in a captivating and interesting manner will grab people's attention and strengthen your message. In this article, Carnegie talks about how dramatizing ideas can help people remember and believe them. Chapter 12. Throw down a challenge. It's what drives people to prove themselves and take on a task. As an example, Carnegie talks about leaders who motivated their teams to do their best by giving them tasks. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Chapter 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Starting any conversation with positive comments sets a good tone for future conversations. Carnegie stresses that starting with praise makes people more open to criticism. Chapter 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Defensiveness can be avoided by pointing out mistakes in a roundabout way. Carnegie uses the example of Charles Schwab to show how he handled his team well by being sensitive to their mistakes. Chapter 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Allowing others to give you feedback is easier when you own up to your mistakes. A business leader fixed an employee's mistake by first admitting his own, Carnegie says. Chapter 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Initiating and working together are boosted by asking questions. Carnegie uses the example of bringing others in decision-making to show how leaders can get people to act. Chapter 5. Let the other person save face. Respecting someone's privacy keeps them from getting angry. The negotiator in Carnegie's story handled a tense situation very well by letting the other person save face. Chapter 6. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Success is encouraged by positive feedback. For motivational purposes, Carnegie talks about how important it is to recognize and celebrate even small successes. Chapter 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Holding people to high standards inspires them to do their best. Carnegie discusses examples of leaders who motivated their workers by having faith in their skills. Chapter 8. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Using positive language can inspire people to do better. In Carnegie's story, a teacher helped a student who was having trouble by making the job seem doable. Chapter 9. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. Cooperation is increased when requests are worded in a way that makes the other person feel good about agreeing. Carnegie talks about a boss who used pride in their work to inspire their employees. To make friends and persuade others, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a classic book with lasting advice. Due to their foundation in empathy, respect, and knowing human nature, Dale Carnegie's principles can be used in both personal and professional settings. Individuals can enhance their social skills, build stronger relationships, and achieve greater success in their efforts by following these guidelines. Thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful book summaries. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite tip from Dale Carnegie's classic? Until next time, keep learning and growing.